Jonathan Summers, and welcome to my career video that I'm going to be taking for you guys today. So my field of work is in the world of subsea operations and maintenance. I work for a company called Deep Ocean, and we essentially own vessels like these, or we charter vessels like these, or that other people may own them. We basically sail around the North Sea in these construction vessels. We fix things that are underwater with these underwater robots that we call ROVs, or remotely operated vehicles. And behind me on the screen there is a picture of one of the vessels that I was on recently. I spent around 10 weeks on this, doing a campaign where we were installing large clamped structures onto a midwater arch.
When I think about NASA, the first thing that I think about is Tim Peake, how his trip to space, the International Space Station, and his broadcast really inspired my son at that point to study physics, and also meeting to NASA scientists when they came to Aberdeen. And also I've been very lucky to visit the Kennedy Space Center when I was in the US, which was very inspirational.
So my day-to-day role at work often actually changes month to month depending on the type of project I'm working on. So usually office-based, working on the computer, for example doing subsea design work or managing old subsea assets. But I also go offshore occasionally, which involves going on vessels in the North Sea, which is fun. And I've done a bit of traveling too. So for example, last year I got the opportunity to travel to Egypt to present at a conference, which was great. All of my work involves regular communication and effective teamwork with my colleagues, which is a really big part of making my job so enjoyable.
When I joined the job industry, what I wanted to do. So actually I always knew I wanted to be a petroleum engineer because my dad was a petroleum engineer. But to do that, I had to do mechanical engineering to give me a broad background. So this involved a lot of physics, mathematics, so that stood me in good stead. But that helped me start my career in petroleum engineering. So when I was young, like I said, my dad was a petroleum engineer, and since I could remember, I always wanted to be a petroleum engineer. Because where I come from, oil and gas is a big industry, so I always wanted to do that.
When I was younger, the first job, I actually wanted to be an ophthalmologist because I used to love my mom's pair of glasses and I always used to wear it. So I always used to tell people when I grow up I wanted to become an ophthalmologist. But somehow I'm not there and I'm not doing medicine, so I'm an engineer, and I do love it because I get to solve problems, I get to see problems and bring solutions to it.
At school, I did subjects like physics, mathematics, introductory technology, which and I also very much apply at my work.
The transferable skills that I use today that I remember doing previously were teamwork. You always have to work in a team. No man is an island. So you always need to work with people. That's why when you do your Lego challenge or when you do your helipad challenge, you always need to work with people. I also transferred my communication skills. Getting to talk to you right now is communication skills. You also get to do that. If you have a question and you don't know what it is, feel free to get up and ask people because you can't really know everything. So it's always good to communicate effectively with people like that, especially when you're working with them. I also lead teams. So out with my day-to-day work, I lead a group of people. So I've transferred that into where I'm currently at. So bringing in my leadership and management skills, I'm currently doing that. And obviously, as a member of the Next Gen team, I'm the assistant coordinator for the Next Gen team, and that's also leadership. So even in the little bubble you're in, you can always find yourself leading people, so which is quite good.
I wouldn't necessarily change anything if I went back to the beginning of my career just now, other than getting involved in projects like the NASA and Aberdeen project a bit sooner, because being able to give back to the younger generation is a really enjoyable part of my job.
How I see my career developing during the energy transition to low carbon economy. So because I work a lot around building designs, there's a whole lot of push from going from traditional fossil fuel energy to less carbonized energy options like renewable energy. So in my design, I tend to incorporate a lot of renewable energy technology, either solar PV systems, as an alternative for source of energy within the building, or some other low carbon technology like ground source heat pumps or air source heat pumps or combined heat and power. These are some of the technologies we are now developing and incorporating into building designs to reduce the carbon footprint within the building. There are some other technologies that we do around, for example, in lighting, where we now look at some controls for lighting in order to reduce the energy consumption from lighting within buildings as well. And now we're talking about electric vehicles, infrastructure to reduce the reliance on petrol and gas for traditional automobiles. So these are some of the technologies we are looking at and developing further now in order to reduce the carbon footprint in the economy, and trying to achieve that net zero carbon target in the construction industry.